Welcome back to another episode of the Western Roundup. I'm your host, Jessa Pelkey. I'm sitting here with Mason Eisenzimmer of Mason Aaron Racing Videos. And Mason, we had a very brief but exciting weekend.
Yeah, with some of the tracks winding up their point seasons, uh,
Yep.
it's you can definitely tell it's that time of year where things are starting to wind down, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is kind of sad. We're at the end of the dog days of summer, and now we're into the point where it's either checkers or wreckers, where people will do either both. And it's going to be the end of a pretty brief season for us. We've had a lot of rain, but for our friends out west, they've had quite a bit of success with races this year.
They have. I don't know. I haven't looked too far ahead at their like special season invitational schedule, but hopefully they still have a couple big races out there yet.
Oh, they got some big races, Mason, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But we got to do some recapping here. And let's kick it off on last Friday. We're going to talk about the Black Hills Speedway with their season championship. So while I'm going through this, Mason, you want to pull up the points champions, as I did not get a chance today during work. Yes, I'm back at work. I did not get a chance to get to put those down and recap those. So,
You had to go
anyways,
back to work. That's just a bummer.
uh, I know, I know, it's not good, especially when the union rep accidentally puts the wrong number of days down, so you get paid the same for having to do more work. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, back to what's important. Season championship at Black Hills Speedway. 52 cars would make their way through the pits and the pit gates. There were 8 Mod 4s, 360 sprints, 7 IMCA hobby stocks, 8 IMCA mods, 17 Midwest mods, and 7 Street stocks. So let's get it going, Mason, here. This was a broomy party. The end of the season, might as well give out all the brooms in the closet.
Oh, yeah.
Dean Larson would pick up a broomy in the Mod 4s. Adam Speckman would pick up a broomy in the 360 sprints. Eric Mass would pick up a broomy in the IMCA mods. Leonard Ferguson would pick up a broomy in the Wissota Street Stocks. Tony Liker would pick up a broomy in the Midwest mods, but a little more on that. He went +9 in the feature to do so, as he had to track down Kyle Harkin and Troy Liker as well. Speaking of Troy and Kyle, they also won their heats, and Troy also put up an impressive number in the feature as he went +10. So the Lakers definitely had themselves a night along with Kyle Harkin. So the only other division that didn't have a broomy was the IMCA hobby stocks, as Brett Const would pick up the feature win and John Garrigan Jr. would get a heat win. Two very big names for the Western IMCA hobby stocks, dueling it out like they've been all summer. And, it's more of a surprise when those two aren't at the front battling than you know, when they are. So that would wrap up the Black Hills Speedway. So, Mason, I think we kind of looked at their point championship last time. I think we said Dean Larson pretty much had everything wrapped up. Did we say John Garrigan have the IMCA hobbies wrapped up, or was it Brett Const?
It was John Garrigan Jr.
Okay. Eric Mass as well, taking the IMCA. Okay.
Yep.
And then who took the rest of the divisions?
Paul Parks over Kyle Harkin by 29 points in the Midwest Modifieds. Street stocks, it was Leonard Ferguson over Les Cooney.
Hmm.
And then 360 sprints went to Braden Mount over Mike Pennell.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, tip of the cap to all of your season champs out at the Black Hills Speedway. Um, there's a lot to be said about season champions. It's a long, hard fought grind of a battle. And, you know, it takes a lot of persistence and some days some luck and some days some skill. So again, tip of the cap to those guys. They definitely put on a great season. But the Black Hills will not be done just yet. We'll get into that a little further on. Gallatin, as we just talked about having good luck with rain, well, they got rained out. Dang.
Yeah, there was a lot of rainouts on Friday around the region.
Yeah. And with that, we moved on to Saturday. Saturday saw the Big Sky Speedway racing. They had 74 cars in attendance, 11 IMCA mods, 20 Wissota Midwest mods, 15 Wissota Streets, 16 IMCA Sport Compacts, and 12 NX Legends. So a really healthy car field there, Mason. Across all their divisions, I would say it's pretty good car counts for them.
Yep, always good to see double digits in all the classes. That's good.
Yep, you know it's crazy how as time goes on, when I was a kid, it used to be I probably grew up going through the golden era of dirt track racing. Not really ever taking a full interest in it. Always just happy to be with my family and grandpa and my dad at the track. But it used to always be if there wasn't a B main, you had a really bad car count night. There was also a lot less car classes back then too. But regardless, now it used to be it got to the point where well, if we just have a full field of just 24 cars, then you had a good night of racing for that field. Now it was down to 20, and then it was like 16, and now we're down to double digits. So it's crazy how time changes things and perspectives.
Yeah, and it changes pretty quick too.
Yep. But anyways, speaking of pretty quick, the IMCA mods saw Corey Craver picking up the feature win over Jason George and Bart Taylor, who took third after going +5. Travis Davis and Jason George would pick up your heat wins. In the Midwest mods, it was Rod Lorenz picking up the feature win over a hard charging Jeremy Meerhofer and Bart Taylor, who both went +7 to get to their second and third finishing positions. Michael Rogers, David Hangsleben, and Brady Lorenz picked up the heat wins, so it was a good night for the Lorenz family. In the Wissota Streets, it was Robert Petroff going +7 to sneak by and beat Troy Seepeck Jr., who went +5, and Caden Craver, who took third. And your hard charger went to Dylan Stephenson, who went +9 to finish fourth. Brady Lorenz and Robert Petroff would pick up your heat wins, giving Robert a broomy for the night. And that's a nice pair of wins for Brady. So he's having a pretty nice little season.
Mhm.
In the IMCA Sport Compacts, it was Kyle Dahlke going +8 for the feature win. He was followed by a hard charging Joe Hudson, who went +6. Third went to Wolfie Gensch, who went +3. And fourth was Corey Pritchett, who went +8. And your hard charger was a Chaz Matty, who went +10 to finish fifth. So a ton of passing in the 16 car field. Joe Hudson and Kyle Dahlke would also take your heat wins, giving Dahlke the Barumi Award for the Sport Compact division. Closing out the night would be the NX Legends, as Travis Wagner would beat Josh Broadbent and Randall Copeland. Jay Quinzer and Travis Wagner would get heat wins, giving Wagner a broomy as well. So that would wrap up things over at the Big Sky. So good race to kick off the Saturday portion there, Mason. A lot of cars, a lot of passing, a couple broomies. So All in all, good night at the Big Sky.
Good mix of everything.
Heading over to the Electric City Speedway, guess what night it was, Mason?
Was it an electric night?
It was because it was Ladies' Night.
Ah,
Ladies' Night saw 61 cars make their way through the pit gates, and there were 19 Midwest mods, 8 Super Stocks, 21 IMCA mods, 13 Rocky Mountain sprints. So, pretty healthy car counts for all the divisions. In the Midwest mods, it was Dayton Liscombe picking up the feature win. He would beat Mason's relative, his long lost distant relative, C.R. Eisenzimmer, who went +6, who was also followed by Joey Price. And Joey, he put on a show to get to third. He went +15. That's a
that's
few
moving.
cars, Mason. Yeah, that's moving. The heat wins would go to Tyler Leach, Cody Harvey, and PJ Popham. In the Wissota Superstocks, Casey Stephenson went +4 for the feature win. Patrick Lemire would pick up the heat win. In the Rocky Mountain Sprints, it was Ross Matheson picking up the feature win. Corey Wormling would get second. Paxton Fleming would get third. Ross and Paxton would also pick up the heat wins, giving Ross a broomy for the night. And in the IMCA modifieds, it was Maurice Meyer going +2 for the feature win, followed by Jordan Tucci, who went +7. And you know that Joey Price guy, he really likes to make life harder on himself, but he likes to put on a show for the fans as he went +13 to finish third. And Ty Clemens would get fourth after going +8. And I just stopped there because I wanted to give a little credit to those guys who are putting on the show to get up that far. Heat wins would go to Cody Kuglin and Sean LaRock and Casey Kinnett. And that would be your night at the old Electric City as the ladies were partying down hard.
Maybe that's what Joey Price was trying to do, is to impress all the ladies.
Isn't he married?
I don't, I don't know. I don't know the guy.
Either do I. I thought, I don't know. Maybe he's not. If he's not, then yes, that would be a very impressive way to get a little bit of attention for at least one night.
Indeed.
Moving on, Mason, we got another season championship to take a look at. So if you want to pull up the Gillette Thunder Speedway season points, we will get after it. Now, their 62 cars were in attendance. They had their usual 4 mini bombers, 20 Midwest mods, 15 Mod 4s, 11 IMCA hobby stocks, 7 IMCA modifieds, and 5 open late models, as we're joined by John Breckle here.
Hi.
Hi, John. Well, in the late models, the first broomy would go to Eddie Kirchhoff as he would sweep both the feature and the heat. In the IMCA mods, it was Darren Conrad picking up the feature win, with Wade Manning picking up the heat win. Wade did some work in his feature and heat, so it was good to see that. In the mini bombers, Alan Johnstone picked up a broomy, taking both the heat and feature. And then in the IMCA hobby stocks, it was John Garrigan Jr. picking up the feature win, followed by Russ Dahlgarn. Dahlgarn? Dahlgarn?
Yeah, I
Dahlgarn.
think it's Dalgarn.
Dahlgarn it.
Yeah, I was like, you probably mispronounced it on purpose just for that fun.
No. Anyways, Mike Matlock would pick up a third place finish as well. Mike and Russ both took heat wins as well. Speaking of another person who got a broomy for the weekend, it was Dean Larson picking up a heat and feature win in the Mod 4s. Dean would be followed by Dax Rayer and John Smith. And Kyle Hardesty, who was the hard charger going +7 to finish fifth. Kyle would also pick up a heat win along with Greg Baker. And finally, in the Midwest Mod Division, it was Tony Liker going +3, followed by Matthew Drake and Travis Soper. And the hard charger would go to Darren Hoff, who went +11. What? Is that John?
Yeah, I have no idea what he said.
I don't know what he said either. Thank you, John, for muting yourself.
That was me.
Thank you, Mason, for muting John. Anyways, Darren Hoff would get the hard charger after going +11 to finish fourth. Heat wins would go to Tony Liker, Darren Hoff, and Matthew Drake. So Tony would get a broomy as well. Mason, can you give us a little update on the season champions?
So in the Midwest Modifieds, I believe the 360 sprints are kind of just a novelty class. I don't believe they're a regular there.
Okay.
Matthew Drake got the narrow win by 8 points over Brennan Davis, who's a rookie in the Midwest
Oh,
Mod.
nice. Nice.
Yep. Tony Liker was 27 points back, so pretty close points battle there.
Mm-hmm.
Not such a close points battle as the Mod 4s, as Dean Larson had a very, very commanding lead. I'll just put it that way over Dax Rader. So congratulations to Dean on that track championship. In the IMCA Hobby Stocks, it was Brett Const, 10 points over John Garrigan Jr., so pretty tight points battle there. In the IMCA Modifieds, it was Eddie Kirchhoff by 18 points over Kyle Anton. And in the Dirt Super Late Models, Eddie Kirchhoff doubling up by 102 points over Richard Haberstroh.
Nice. And with that, I think that was it for the week.
Did you get Sheridan?
Maybe. Did they race?
They did race.
Well, I did not get Sheridan then.
Well, it's all right. I'll do it on the
Mason's
fly.
got Sheridan today.
I got Sheridan. We'll do it on the fly for you. So Sunday the 18th, I should say, at the Sheridan Speedway, as the My Race Pass app is loading, they had 33 cars in their 5 classes besides their track rules quarter midgets. 5 Mod 4s, 7 Rocky Mountain hardtops, 7 street stocks, 6 IMCA mods, and 8 Minnesota Midwest mods. So a little bit of a lighter car count for them, although a lot of their regulars have been racing throughout the rest of the weekend, so I'm sure that probably factored in a little bit.
Guess who got a broomy in the Mod 4s, Mason?
It was that silver bullet number 37 again, wasn't it?
It was. It was none other than Dean Larson. But you know what? He wouldn't be the only one getting a broomy for the weekend, as in the Rocky Mountain hardtops, it was Butch Kennedy picking up the sweep.
I'm curious on what happened in that feature because it says only that 2 finished out of the 7 that started.
You know, sometimes you just have to gut it out to the end. Just pure determination and drive. And those
Yeah.
two, I wonder if they had kind of like a Talladega Nights finish.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting to just look at the My Race Pass results and be like, what happened? Actually, now that I look at it, I think it's a broomy sweep across all the classes, Jessup.
Is it?
Because in the street stocks,
Bart
it was
Taylor.
Robert Petroff,
Bart got the mods.
Bart Taylor in the modifieds, both heat and feature, and Midwest mods, Tony Liker with the feature win, and he also won his heat.
Well, there you have it, kids. Broomies for everybody. And with that, that wraps up the recap portion of this week's episode. As I just broke my notepad is ripping apart now.
Oh, that's sad.
It is. But you know what's not sad? The upcoming races this weekend. Bunch of big racing, Mason.
Yes, there is.
Not a lot of tracks are racing, but there's a bunch of racing. Let's kick it off with the Big Sky Speedway. They got the 7th annual Oster Miller. Nope, that's Black Hills. They have the Oster Miller Memorial Night number 1 the ASCS 360 Frontier Region sprint cars, and they will be racing for $12,012 to win. Now, they'll be joined by the Wissota Midwest Mods and the NX Legends. Currently, Big Sky is posting kind of the lead-in promotional piece that you see with like bigger races where they have the different drivers who may be attending. So there's some fun names coming out. I think as the week goes on, you're going to see a lot more get pushed out. Um, Also racing on Friday. Oh, I forgot to say $38 for general admission each night. Racing starts, I believe, at 7 p.m., but I might be mistaken on that.
I'll check for you while you
I
continue
think
on.
it's 7 p.m. Now, going to the Black Hill Speedway, it's the seventh annual half mile nationals. General admission is $20. Veterans and seniors 15. Kids are 5. Racing kicks off at 7. It is 2 complete shows for the weekend. It's a Friday, Saturday show type of deal. 360 sprints, streets, mod 4s, mods, Midwest mods, and hobby stocks will be in attendance in each night. Friday also sees the Gallatin Speedway racing streets, supers, mods, and Wissota late models kicking off at 7:35. Going on to Saturday, it's night number 2 of the Ostermiller Memorial. Same start time, same general admission. Electric City will be hosting a street stock special. Racing starts at 7. General admission is at $15. Seniors and vets, $9. Kids are free. I think they do some, I'm not sure it's this track or another track does some sort of height limitation deal. So if you are rather short,
I think that's Big Sky.
well, if you're short, you get more of a discount, but you have to sit up front. Anyways, they will be hosting for their Street Stock special at Electric City, Super Stocks, Street Stocks, Wissota Late Models, IMCA Mods, and Sport Compacts. The Black Hills will be hosting night 2 of the Half Mile Nationals, and that would wrap up, from what I could tell, that wraps up the Saturday night portion of racing this upcoming weekend.
Did you check out Idaho Falls? I think they
I
got
did not check out. Did they? Do they have a race this week?
they do at 7 o'clock. They also have go-karts out at their track at 5 o'clock. General admission $13, seniors 8, along with military, and then $6 for kids ages 6 to 12.
Nice.
They run an assortment of classes. So outlaw minis, street stocks, IMCA sport mods, IMCA modifieds, with Wissota super stocks, and IMCA sport compacts, and whatever a lawnmower stock is.
Stock lawnmowers. Basically, you just got to kick off the deck and then you just race.
Okay.
I think we could do that, Mason.
Well, I couldn't because I don't own a lawnmower.
Maybe John could.
Maybe John could.
Anyways, going into Sunday, it is the Sheridan Speedway Season Championship. 6:30 start time. Mod 4s, Rocky Mountain Hardtop, Streets, Street Stocks, IMCA Mods, Midwest Mods, and Sport Compacts as well. And Mason, that wraps up this upcoming week. Kind of a
And
short episode.
yep, the only thing because I was trying to look some stuff up while you were talking about the upcoming races. Did you mention Gallatin on the 23rd?
Nope.
Okay, looks like the Gallatin Speedway also is racing on the 23rd.
Wait, did I not mention that? I thought I did. Maybe I did.
I don't remember if you did.
No, I
Yes,
did.
you did.
7:35. Yeah, I did.
I was like, I wonder why they have that start time at 7:35, but that's probably because like the anthem is probably at 7:30 and all that, and so
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. If you start at 7:35 and you do your anthem at 7, can't be mad, I guess. Let's take a look here real quick. Let's go to Big Sky and pull out. They've got 6 new uh, announcements for the
oh, I have their page up too.
Harvey Ostermiller Memorial Sprint Car Race. Let's see if they got any interesting details here. You're entered to win. Let's see. Oh, if you share, they're running a opportunity to do share their posts and win 2 free tickets for Friday, I think. Interesting.
So some of their confirmed drivers include Blaine
Skylar,
Brink from
they got
Gillette,
Skylar
Wyoming,
G. That's a
Skylar
pretty
G.
that's a pretty big pull. He's a good 410 sprint car driver.
What about this Christian Kinnison from Denton, Texas? I've never heard that name.
I think I've heard of him, but it just let's let's see. Christian Kinnison. Okay.
Austin Gossel from Windsor, Colorado. I remember
Yep.
seeing him down in Florida for when the Outlaws were there.
Kinnison, Denton, Texas, age 27. Hmm. Well,
Oh,
he's raced Big Sky twice this year, Casper twice, and Gallatin once.
interesting.
Let's take a look. Who else we got here? G, you said? Skylar G.
Yep.
G. Is it G or G?
I think it's G from what I've heard
G.
announcers say. And I like
Let's
how they put like the past champions on each of these posts. So like Jake Budbach won it last year, Logan Forler the 2 years before that, Jordan Mouch, JJ Hickel, and Travis Rylett, looks like.
let's see. Phil Dietz is a pretty solid runner too, so he'll be one to watch. Gossel's a good one. Let's see. Blaine Brink. We've said his name a couple. One of
The
the
Brinks
Brinks.
are really good down at Black Hills.
Huh.
Cody Massey, Trevor Kirkland, a lot of the local sprint car drivers. It would be fun to see them come over here to win the sprints race around North Dakota just to see how they fare.
Well, the first problem, you see, okay, that this leads into a rabbit's hole and of issues and a can of worm issue type of deal. We have 410 sprints and 305 sprints and wingless sprints. I don't know how many of the 410 sprints are actually 410 sprints.
Fair point.
So I don't know. It's frustrating, Mason. It's frustrating because we're on our own little island here. The 305s at least get to play with some of the other people, but the 410s,
Yeah, they have to travel far to race outside of Grand Forks.
yeah. So it's a bit frustrating, but I think it would be rather entertaining to see them on a third mile track together, or even a quarter-mile track together, and see how everybody would fare. But until we get a more unified set of rules across the board, it'll never happen.
Never say never.
Yep. But it looks like it's going to be a good show this year, Mason. Let's jump over to Black Hills real quick here. Take a look at their There it is. So the Border Wars consist of the Half Mile Nationals and the East-West Clash over at Gillette Thunder. And between the 5 days, it's a 5 day point fund. And between all the stuff going on and all the payouts, there's $100,000 in payout being paid off between the 5 days and the 2 tracks and 2 weekends. So that's pretty good.
Hmm.
Should be a good little weekend there.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to follow.
Yeah. So our friends out west have plenty to choose from. Again, some nice options between sprints, mods, and some late model action. A little bit of a taste for everybody.
Sounds like a fun weekend to me, especially with it being the week before Labor Day weekend.
Yep. Yep. We'll see how much fun I get to have or don't get to have.
Time's a ticking for you.
I'm running out of time. Running out of time for having fun. Then it comes dad duties.
Dad duties are coming soon.
We'll just make John do them.
Good luck with that.
John says he can change diapers.
I'm sure he could.
Yeah, but he probably could, but Becca will be all picky. And with that, as we get a glare at the bottom of our screen, okay, we're back to normal. And with that, Mason, you got anything else you want to add for the upcoming week?
Nope, I think we got it covered.
Awesome. Well, until next time, we'll see you all at the track. Remember, get out, support the local drivers, support the local sponsors, support the tracks. And yeah, time's a ticking. We're running out of season. So go enjoy the remaining weekends that we have left. And until next time, we'll see you at the track.